Sir, You Are Being Hunted has been in beta for a while, but now it's finally been released into the wild. But is it worth the dosh, or are they selling us porky pies in a bag of tripe?
Gaw blimey!
Perhaps some tea and biscuits from one of the nearby houses? The residents won't mind because they're not at home.
As the story goes, a mysterious machine has exploded, spreading parts all over the land. And it's up to you to retrieve all the parts and return them to a large rock. Because why not?
Yes, that's about the extent of the story. From that point on, it's a matter of survival. You're in a dystopian English countryside overrun with gentlemanly robots who are out for your hide.
Startled wildlife could help you to spot your pursuers.
You'll scour the countryside trying to find the parts, avoid the robots, and hopefully scavenge enough supplies to stay alive.
I'm sure you can master roasting game on an open fire.
The survival mechanics are pretty straightforward. You have a vitality meter that's constantly draining, so you need to eat regularly to keep it up. And as long as your vitality is high enough, you'll slowly regenerate health.
Personally, I felt the survival mechanics felt pretty light. Basically, you just have to scoff a few bits of beef throughout the game and you'll be right.
Yeah, but this isn't trying to be a hardcore survival sim where it's you against the elements. This is really about trying to outsmart and maneuver past those dastardly robots. And I think it works well for what they're trying to achieve.
Fair enough.
Oh dear, oh dear.
The world is split into 5 randomly generated islands, with the central island flanked by the smaller ones. The only checkpoints you get are when you use one of the boats between the islands, or at the big rock, so death can be pretty punishing if you haven't saved in a while.
And on each island, you'll find plenty of abandoned buildings and towns, which are more often than not filled with useless junk and poisonous food.
So it's always a bit of a thrill when you do find something useful, especially if it's a new gun or a few precious bullets.
A weapon?
Although I thought it felt a bit cheap how there's no interiors to any of the buildings, you just search them by clicking on doors. I guess I just always love going into people's houses and rifling through their drawers though.
I think there are some really strong ideas here, maybe just not executed as well as they could have been. For example, the game's main mechanic of being hunted isn't quite right. It's more like, sir, we are guarding the things you need to find and will only hunt you if we see you, but we'll give up if you run away.
Not the catchiest title though, is it?
No, but it's more accurate. It's an accurate title.
You hear something? It's over there. Lost and lighter. Keep looking.
You just think there would maybe be a bit more tracking behavior in the AI, or just something that actually made you feel hunted. Instead, the robots do really simply stand around the useful things and randomly patrol the islands.
Yeah, another thing I found is that you can kind of break the game's difficulty system.
Excellent. We're making progress. You might survive this after all.
Basically, every time you deliver a piece of the machine to the big stone, things get gradually harder with bigger, scarier types of robots coming into play. If you want though, you can just round up and store each piece in a nearby house and then turn them all in one go right at the end.
Excellent. You've done it.
Kind of goes against the whole spirit of the exercise though, Hex. Not very sporting of you.
Oh, it's cheating for sure, but still it's in the game and it felt like a bit of an easy exploit.
Well, fair enough. And it is a pretty brutal game by default. Once you're spotted, your best option is usually just to run. If you fight, not only will you run out of bullets, but the noise will draw more robots to you.
I did love the variety of enemies. Things start off with just basic robots with shotguns, then balloons come, and then dogs, and then these lanky guys, and then the polo players on rocket-powered horses. They really keep you on your toes, don't they?
My favourite enemy was the creepy Watson Scarecrow. You just turn around and he's there. Go away! Also, those tentacles coming out of the ocean can go away.
It's also really satisfying when you pull off a good bit of stealth action. Slowly sneaking through tall grass and using a distraction to nab a machine part right under the noses of some robots.
Yeah, and running for your life and hearing that bullet ping past your head always gets the heart pumping.
There are some nice ideas here. They may not always have worked as well as I would have liked, but overall I enjoyed my romp through this terrifying countryside, so I'm giving it 7.
I liked the look of this game. Parts of it look rough, but it still manages to sell an impressive range of moods. Still, it never really delivered on that being hunted promise. So I'm giving it 6 out of 10. And now it's time for a news report with Goose.